We've got our HR diagram in a useful format. So we've got the luminosity on the y-axis and we've got the temperature on the x-axis, remembering that the temperature is coming from the right to the left with an increasing temperature. And we can see that we've got the stars on this plot. So let's just have a look at what we've got and identify the different regions and the types of stars that are going to be there. So to begin with, that's not a pen. So secondly, now that I've got a pen, we can identify that we've got these kind of stars down in this region here. So these are very, very hot stars, certainly over towards this end. And what we can also see, though, is that they are not particularly luminous. So the reason they're not luminous is even though they're hot, increasing the temperature increases the intensity of the radiation. But if we recall that luminosity depends on the surface area, so what we've got here are very, very hot, but stars that are with a very small surface area. Okay, let's go to the other extreme. I'm sorry, I'm going to call this region A, so you can have a guess at what these stars are going to be in a moment. And then if we move on to this region here, so I'm going to call this region B, what we've got now are really relatively quite cool stars, but their luminosity is very, very bright. So as we recall, the luminosity is dependent on the surface area, but because they're small, the intensity of the radiation, so that's the power per unit area, is quite low. These stars here must be very, very large with a great big surface area. And then finally, I'm going to call this section, this band here, section C. And what we can see here, this is kind of what we would be expecting for stars, is where we've got down at this end, we've got low temperature corresponding to a low luminosity. And then as the temperature increases, the luminosity is increasing as well. So what we've got here are very, very hot stars and very luminous stars. So they're hot and they're large, whereas down here, they're cool and they're small.